All right, everybody, welcome to the Senior Life Agency call. My name is Joe Johnson. I'm going to be your host today. Let's give it a couple of minutes. This is a live training call that we're doing, so let's give it about 30 seconds. Give everybody an opportunity to get hopped on. We're looking good. We're almost to our target audience that we're looking for. All right, looks good. All right, let's officially kick our call off. How's everybody doing? My name's Joe Johnson. I'm going to be your host today. And by popular demand, I've had a lot of agents ask me, they just said, hey, Joe, could you just do a mock presentation? Just walk through exactly how you do your in-home presentation. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to try to get this knocked out in about 35 to 45 minutes. If I go a little bit long, I apologize, but we are getting this recorded. And as you know, it's a live call, so I appreciate everybody that's on the call, but we'll get it recorded. We'll get it on our YouTube channel, get it on the back end of the website so you can view it later. A couple of things just before we get into actually how I do my presentation. Some important things to know what you should have. Okay, number one is make sure that you've got everything you need ordered from Senior Life. Make sure that you're organized. Make sure that you get your Senior Life ID badge. Go online. You can order, get your business cards ordered. Also, delivery notices. Your door tags. Door tags are super important. You can order these right off of the Senior Life website. Or I've got probably close to about 5,000. If you like the smaller ones better, you can order these from my office. There's 50 in a pack. They're $2.50 for a 50 pack. So order a bunch of them. You'll save a little bit of money on postage. The other thing that you're going to need is get yourself an iPad. I like having the keyboard attached to mine, a little bit easier for typing. Also for in-home presentations, what I like doing is I've got this nice Padfolio. I've used this. This thing's probably at least 10 years old. I've used it for a long time, but I'll just show you what I pack in here. Got a little picture of my family, as you can see, a copy of my insurance license. Also have I've got extra, I go in with legacy brochures. As you can see, I've got my senior care brochures as well. And then I also have a sample policy. I always bring a copy because I own a senior life policy. I bring a copy of my policy with the legacy information and also the free prescription card. And I got I got a package here of 3 option worksheets to do that. And that's really about it. That's really the only thing I'm going into the house with. So I'm going in pretty light. So once I actually get into the house and I start my presentation, the first thing we want to do is work on the bond and rapport, making casual conversation with our clients, kind of get to know them a little bit. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm sure you guys are probably good at chit-chatting and making nice with the client and getting to know them. For me, to help me stay on track, I use this little acronym, kind of a cheat, if you will. It's called CORE, C-O-R-E, stands for children, occupation, recreation, and emotion. So it kind of keeps me on track. I can talk about their children, what they used to do for a living, what do they like to do for fun, get into the emotional side. That will kind of help you break the ice. Once I've broken the ice a little bit, what I want to do is I want to transition into phase 2. By the way, I have the in-home presentation broken down into 9 separate steps. So step 1 is the bond and rapport. Step 2 is I want to find out why they sent the card in. So to transition from the bond and rapport, my apologies, thought I had that turned off, but obviously I didn't. There we go. So how I transition from the bond and rapport to the why they sent the card in, I'll just say simply something like this. You know, Bob and Mary, I'm really enjoying spending time with you guys. You're great people. I'm enjoying to get to know you, but I'm sure you don't want me here all day. Let me just talk about the reason why I'm here visiting with you today, and the reason why you had mailed this form in requesting information about the state regulated programs. And I show them just kind of bring out the card that they had mailed in, or if it's a Facebook lead, I'll print that out, or a TV lead. These happen to be fresh Senior Life direct mail leads. These are the ones I really like. So I'll just simply say something like this, Bob and Mary, I've been doing this for a long time. And I got to tell you, most of the people that respond to the mailer, and we literally, our company, we have thousands of people every week that respond to a mailer just like you did. They typically tell us they requested the information for one or three reasons. One is that they simply don't have anything in place at all, and they just want to make sure that when they do pass away, they're not leaving their family with a financial and emotional burden. Second is sometimes I meet people that have a little bit of coverage. Maybe they bought a plan 5-10 years ago, but they feel like they could just use a little bit more. They want to see what else is available, what their options are. And lastly, sometimes I meet people that have plenty of coverage, but they still want to leave. They want a little bit of extra just to leave as a special benefit, maybe to a special family member, or maybe even their favorite charity. But, Bob and Mary, you tell me which one of these best applies to you. What motivated you to request this information? And let them talk about that a little bit. And this is a great segue as they're talking about that to get into the emotional part, and just ask them things like, well, out of curiosity, have either of you, or Mary, have you ever been in charge? Have you ever had to plan a funeral for someone? Get them to talk about that. Ask them questions like, well, let me ask you a question. Based on your situation now, and you say you don't have anything in place, God forbid you do pass away prematurely, whether it's next week or 2 years from now, something unexpected, how would that impact your family? Who is it in your family that would be responsible for taking care of what needs to be taken care of? Are things laid out? Is there going to be money available? How would that impact your daughter? Oh, my daughter's already struggling. Most of these people that we're going to see, their family members, their children, grandchildren, trust me, they're in no position to be forking over $5, $6, $7, $10, $15,000 to cover the cost of the funeral. So this is a great way. So you're kind of digging into the emotional part and finding out why they sent the card in. The next phase of my in-home presentation, phase 3, is what I call either the full disclosure or the upfront contract. And this is when I'm going to ask my clients if they know how these programs work, because what I want to do here, the idea of the full disclosure is to uncover any possible objections that they may have. There may be another party member. There may be someone else that they want there. Maybe their spouses. You didn't know they were married. Maybe their spouse isn't there. Maybe their children. They want their children involved to help, or maybe their fiance or whoever. So I'll just say simply something like this, transition to get into phase 3. Mary, out of curiosity, do you know how these state regulated plans work? Guys, what I can tell you is 100% of the time, they're always going to say no. Well, let me explain. Like I said before, as a state licensed agent and state licensed field underwriter, it's my job today simply just to meet with you for a little bit. And I'm going to ask you some health questions. And by asking you these health questions, I'm going to be able to determine which programs are going to be the best fit and where I'm going to be able to offer you the biggest discounts. And simply, Mary, if I can find a program that fits your needs, but I know more importantly, it's got to fit your budget. If I can get those two things accomplished, what I'll simply do is submit a little bit of paperwork to the company, and they should give me a response back. I should find out within 5 to 10 business days whether or not you're going to be approved for the program. Does that sound fair enough? They're either going to agree or they're going to give you some type of rebuttal, like they can't do anything today, or give you a reason why they can't do something. What I have found in my history is that it's always easier to overcome an objection in the beginning than waiting to the end. All right, so that's phase 3. Now I want to move into phase 4, and that is going over my legacy folder, which I forgot to show you. This is important, along with what you bring with you. So what I'll say to the client, say, well, listen, Mary, before I get into how the programs work, these state-related programs and all the guarantees that they offer, I did put together a special folder for you. Let me grab that. And I'll have if you can see here, I have these folders made up. I have this one in my portfolio. Let me just show you real quick everything that I have in here. One is that, oh, by the way, these legacy folders, order these from your back office at Senior Life. You have an option. You can order Senior Life brochures or legacy. Order the legacy. Remember, legacy is what separates us from the competition. They can buy life insurance anywhere, okay? But they can't get legacy anywhere. They can't get you anywhere. You, the services that you provide, how you separate yourself from the competition, and legacy, that's the difference maker. So spend a couple of bucks. Don't be cheap. I think these are only like $1 or something. Order a bunch of these legacy brochures or folders. Inside, I'm going to have the legacy. You can see here, I'll just pull everything out. I've got the legacy brochure. I've got the senior care brochure. And then on the other side, what I do is I have the Social Security form that talks about the $255. I've got the form here from Social Security Administration, shows what future costs could be. I've got the 5 guarantees. On every folder, I put in a 3-option worksheet, just so I have it in there. I have the stop. This is at the end. This is after you've sold the application. You're going to fill this out and educate your clients. Don't let their policy get replaced by unscrupulous sales agents just looking to make a commission. That's why you got to sell on the legacy. I am your policy letter. And then last is the initial survey. So I'll go over all this stuff with you here in a little bit when I transition. But so now that I've done that part and I'm going over the folder, as I'm opening up the folder, I'm simply going to engage in a conversation with my client, and I'm going to ask them stuff like, well, Mary, out of curiosity, have you done any pre-planning? Do you have anything in place now? Have you gone to a local funeral home? Have you picked out any merchandise? Does your family have a plot? I'm gonna start asking all these questions because, Mary, part of my job is to help your family, not only with the funding and providing your family with the money, but the pre-planning is just as important. So what I'm gonna do is my senior care brochure, I'm just going to skip right to my final wishes planner. And I'm not going to go over this whole thing with you, but it's important for you to go over this with your client and show them how they can write everything in and kind of pre-plan everything. It's also very important as you an agent, make sure that you're writing your name inside this so your client, somebody finds this information, they have your number to call, because when your client passes, you want your client to know that they're not just calling some insurance company, is that I'm the guy, like your family should be calling me. I will get them in touch with the proper people to take care of this. So not only is that important part, is doing the pre-planning and making sure that your family knows what you want to have happen when you pass away. The other service that our company provides that I can provide for you, Mary, is probably the most important thing, is that is locking everything in, is locking the prices in. Things like the cost of the casket, the funeral, or the vault, the headstone, monument, locking those prices in and protecting you and your family from inflation. That's what legacy does. Legacy is the difference maker. And you can't get legacy just anywhere. You know, legacy is only offered through my company. We're the only ones that have legacy. And this is where you want to open up this brochure and you want to go over where they're able to lock everything in. And they have caskets, the most beautiful caskets in the world, locked in for $2,000. You know, these caskets right now, even today, retail for $4 or $5 grand. Our price is $2 grand, half price. What's the same casket with the way cost and materials are going up? What's this going to cost 10 years, 15, 20 years from now? That could be a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 casket. But guess what? Your prices are locked in at 2,000. Okay. In addition to locking in the merchandise, you also have the Wish team. The Wish team is a specialized team of individuals who are going to talk to the funeral home for your family's behalf and negotiate everything. Because let's face it, funeral homes there's no discounts there. Everybody pays full retail. But guess what? Your family is not going to pay full retail. They're going to have an advocate that's going to protect them from price gouging. Because when most people wait until they pass away to take care of things, and your family, when you do pass and they have to go to that funeral director and work everything out, they're in no position to start negotiating on prices, because all they want to do is make sure that you're honored and that your final wishes are protected and everything happens the way that you want it to have happen. So it's nice to have that advocate, if you will, the Wish team, that's going to take care of everything for you. In addition to that, I also want you guys to go over all the living benefits. Talk about the telehealth, how there's a 24-hour hotline they can call in to get medical advice. They can order things to help them with like braces or orthotics. There's hearing option there. They can get free hearing tests and discounts on hearing aids. So really talk about the legacy, and you can even show them how in these certain circumstances, examples where the Wish team, when they went in and the funeral was originally 12,000, they got it done for less than 5,000. So over 50% off. Talk about these things. This is important. Again, legacy is what's going to separate you from the competition. The other thing that I do is what I bring with me, and to go along with that is I bring my own legacy stuff. And I'll say something like this, Mary, let me show you, if we end up going for it and we get you protected, I just want to show you what you're going to receive. And I'll just open up my this, and I'll break this out, which is my policy. So Mary, not only would you receive a copy of your, like this is my policy. I've got a $30,000 policy with Senior Life, but you're also going to receive this from Legacy, which allows you to pick everything out. Now this is mine. You can see here's my name, Joseph Johnson, so I am a member. And again, here's all the additional benefits. But this is where it allows you to actually pick out the actual, if you want to do it ahead of time, you can, or you can wait and have your family pick it out, but you can pick everything out. In fact, my last client I just met, her first name was Rose. She really liked this Heritage Rose casket with the embroidery on there. But this is what you're going to receive from this membership card from Legacy. In addition to that, the other thing I forgot to mention, which is really important, is that Legacy doesn't just cover you, it covers your other household family members as well. So we can get your kids covered. We can get your, maybe they have an elderly parent that we can get your mom who's still living with you, who's 89 years old. We can get her covered under Legacy. Now, what I like to do from here is after I go over the brochures, I like playing the Legacy video form. Let me just pop that up for you real quick. Give me 1 second. And then I'll just say, just give me 1 second. I just want to play this quick testimonial video about Legacy. And I'll just play this.
Well, we had a large family. There were lots of kids.
You guys see that? There you go.
We never lacked for a playmate.
This is about a 4-minute video.
Fruits and vegetables and flowers. She loved her flowers.
You can play the whole thing if you want to.
Craftsman, like working.
I usually just play about the first 2 minutes of it.
John was a free spirit. And
I'll show you the cutoff
when he
where I
passed
usually cut
away,
this off.
the family was left with this
Don't skip this part.
huge,
This is important.
but we really couldn't afford.
This will
I knew that funerals would
this will sell
cost.
for you.
I just didn't know how much.
I think when you think about funerals, you think about the things like the casket and the vault and the markers and the monuments, but you forget there's all those other costs with the funeral.
I was really stunned at how much the little things cost, flowers, everything else, even just having music play.
The casket alone was like $6,000.
I walk out of there thinking to myself, how are we going to get this done? And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, Dad was always a planner. So I went back and I looked through all of his paperwork and I found that he had a Legacy Assurance membership.
I think the funeral service could have been very overwhelming had it not been for Legacy Assurance.
Legacy provides an advocate that'll walk them through the process, and they'll negotiate.
They talked to the funeral home themselves and were able to work out the lowest prices for us for the funeral.
It really felt like Legacy Assurance just put their arm around me and said, it's okay, we got this. You take care of your family.
Certainly with Legacy Assurance.
Okay, so that's
it's
usually
not
where I
quality
stop
that's
the,
compromised.
When I think back,
that's where I usually end the video. From there, what I do is I hop back over to my folder and I just finish going through a couple of things in the folder. So let me do that real quick. Let me get this organized back. So once I play that video, I open up my folder and I go over the Social Security benefit. You know, Mary, let me just cover with you what Social Security will pay. You may not be aware, but when you do pass away, there is a one-time $255 benefit from Social Security that can help go towards funeral cost. Also, this is another form from the Social Security Administration. Mary, this just shows you what funerals could be based in the future, based on inflation, based on your current age, and then life expectancy. And Mary, tell me again, you are how old? 65 years old? So Mary, based on your age of 65, says here that you should live at least another 19 years to age 84. Let's see, is that right? Yeah. In 19 to 20 years from now, Social Security is estimating that funerals could be as much as $23,000. You know, which is a huge, could be a huge burden to your family. But the thing about it is, Mary, is that with our plan, with the funding, more importantly, having Legacy in place and getting everything locked in so your family doesn't have to worry about price gouging or inflation, that we're going to be able to lock in those prices so your family is not going to have a $23,000 bill when you do pass away. So really kind of stress on that point. So that's the rest of the folder that I take care of from there. The other thing that I want to do, almost forgot, because I have these forms a little bit out of order. From here, what I want to do is I want to talk to my client about the 5 guarantees. So I've talked about Legacy. Now, let me talk a little bit about funding to make sure that there is money available to fund that. And you're able to do that with a senior care plan from Senior Life. The thing about it is, Mary, when it comes to funding, it's important to make sure is that the program that you put in place, that you want to make sure it's going to be a program that's going to be there forever. And with these state regulated plans, they have 5 guarantees necessary to ensure proper final expense coverage. And I just go over the 5 guarantees. The first guarantee is guaranteed premiums never to increase regardless of changes to age or health. In other words, Mary, you've got price lock guarantee. You're 65 years old now. You wouldn't want a plan that goes up in 5 years, or when you get to age 70, the price doubles. It's locked in for the rest of your life. Number 2, death benefit is guaranteed never to decrease. Mary, you have to be careful because some plans out there, the death benefit actually goes down. Not this program. It's locked in for the rest of your life. Also, number 3, death benefit is guaranteed income tax free. Mary, regardless of what we can find that fits your budget, when you do pass away and I bring that check to your family, whether it's a $5,000, $10,000, or maybe even a $20,000 check, I want you to know that Uncle Sam's not going to get a penny of that it's going to be 100% tax free. 4 is that it's guaranteed never to be canceled. Mary, this plan, like other plans, there's plans out there that end at a certain age, typically 80. This plan can never be canceled due to age or health conditions, okay? The only way it can be canceled is if you cancel it or you stop making the payments on it. And then lastly, the 5th guarantee, Mary, is that it has guaranteed cash value that accumulates over time. Now, this cash value can be used for family emergencies, or other financial needs. And lastly, it just says here, there's no medical exams. Mary, that's why I'm here. There's no medical exams. We're not going to send out a nurse or a doctor, make you pee in a cup or stick you with a needle. That's why I'm here. As a state licensed agent and field underwriter, it's my job simply just to ask you the health questions to determine which program is going to be the best fit for you. Now, Mary, as far as the health questions go, I know this may seem kind of like a silly health question, but by law, I am required to ask, are you currently hospitalized or in a nursing home? And they're usually going to chuckle. So right there, I'm going to go ahead and transition into the health questions. As I'm doing that, what I'm doing is I'm getting to my Slice app, which I'll show you. This is the Slice app. I'm just going to click on application. Now, usually what I'll do is I'll ask that first health question because I have it memorized, and it's kind of a good transition to ask that health question because it is the very first health question. And then from here, real quickly, guys, I'll just show you how quickly this is. I'm going to enter in the client's name, date of birth, select the gender. We got a male. What city are we in? Naperville. That's where I live, Illinois. That's how quick it is. All right, got everything in. Self, what did I forget to put in? Oh, gender didn't take. Done. Okay, next. Okay, first health question, which I've already asked. Second health question, Mary, have you been, I'll just read through these with you real quick. The kind of cool thing about your Slice app is it's also doing the field underwriting for you. This way you don't accidentally misquote your client the wrong price. If they only qualify for standard, as an example, you don't want to quote them super preferred or preferred. So have they been hospitalized 2 or more times in the last 10 years? Let's say no. Have you ever been diagnosed with cancer or had a stroke? Let's say yes. Let's say they had a stroke 5 years ago. Past 2 years, have you had cancer or a stroke? Well, no. But my stroke was 5 years ago. Use any tobacco? No. Past 10 years, have you used any form of tobacco or nicotine? I'm answering no to that. Height and weight, we'll say we're 5'9", and what's average weight for somebody 5'9"? We'll say 230 for a male. Is proposed taking any type of medication? Yes. One common medication, let's say this person, they're slightly chubby. Let's say they're on diabetes medication. So I'll say metformin, okay, for diabetes. Let's say they even take, let's say they take insulin too. Insulin for diabetes. And let's say they have high blood pressure, they take lisinopril. I'll type that in. Yes. Whoops. Let me go. Lisinopril for high blood pressure. Okay, I got all my medications in. It didn't take that long, and just do a good job on the field underwriting. The better job you do of this, the better it's going to be, because you don't want to quote somebody preferred and they end up only qualifying for standard. Okay, so got all my medications in. Let's see here. Let me make one little change. Let's see, let me go back here. Okay. All right, sorry about that. I had a little bit of an error. Based on the medications they put in, they're going to qualify for standard as the best. Remember, this is a cascading application. So you've got all the way from ultra preferred. That would be someone that takes like no medication, super healthy, which almost nobody qualifies for. But you do have super preferred, preferred, standard, modified, easy issue, and guaranteed. So this client's in pretty good health. They're going to qualify for standard issue, which is immediate same day coverage. Okay, so I'm gonna select standard, go from here, and then what this is gonna do, it's gonna bring up the brochure again, okay, which we pretty much have already covered this, the plans, but what's nice about this is that it's actually gonna show you and your client what they're gonna cover for. So under the standard coverage, it's issue ages 0 to 85. They're going to be able to get from $1,000 to $20,000. So this prevents you from saying, oh yeah, we can get you 30,000, where in reality, because of their age and the fact that it's standard, it's only going to be 20,000. Okay. And then legacy, there's a legacy brochure already built into the Slice app. I'm going to skip this because I've already done everything. The video, I've already played that. I'm going to skip that. It's going to go right into the pricing. Now this part, I'm usually not sharing my screen with the client, but as the agent, what you're going to see, it's automatically going to bring up like a 3-option kind of worksheet there. The one thing that you're going to see, and it's going to say standard whole life, the one thing that you're going to see is that these prices, this is only showing 6,000, 6,500, and 7,500. What I want to do is I want to do a 3-option worksheet on paper, and I want to show a contrast. Did a video a couple of weeks ago about contrast selling, about how you always want to show your client the maximum that they can qualify for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the custom. If I just click on custom, there's a little toggle there, and very quickly I can just go all the way from 20,000, which is $224, down to 5,000, which is only $61. It's very easy just to toggle back and forth. The other thing that you want to know is on your Slice app, it's automatically adding in legacy assurance, which, by the way, when you're looking at your quotes, legacy is $4 a month. So if you're showing someone and the price is, let's say, $55, the price of the insurance is really only $51, and legacy is extra is $4 added on. Before you leave the house, you have to make sure that you disclose that to your client, because if they see it on their bill and they see that extra $4 are not aware of it, it could cause an issue. So make sure that you're letting your client know that. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to do a 3-option worksheet. So bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so now that I know what my client's going to qualify for, this is going to give me an opportunity. I'm going to be able to do my 3-option worksheet. But before I show the client what their options are or any pricing, it's important, we're in step number 6 right now. It's important to learn this part of the presentation. And this is what I say to the clients before I show them the 3-option worksheet. I'm going to say to my client, Mary, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what most people are doing in your same situation, okay? But it's really important, and you got to promise me something. Just promise me this, is that if what I'm showing you doesn't fit into your budget, promise me that you'll let me know, okay, Mary? Because I can make adjustments, and I promise you, I can find a program that is going to fit your budget. And Mary, wouldn't you agree, at the end of the day, at least having some coverage in place is better than not having anything at all? So I want to get that my client to confirm with me, because I don't want to show them something and it blows them out of the water. It's so expensive, and they just, they kind of like, oh, well, let me think about it. And they get, so we're in agreement that they're going to do that. Always do that before you show them any pricing. The next thing I do, if Mary in this situation, based on her age, the fact that she can get same-day coverage, standard is that the maximum coverage is $20,000. So I always want to show $20,000 as option number 1. And if you notice, I don't have any pricing written down. I'm going to show them the options, then I'm going to fill in what they need to set aside to fund it. So Mary, option number 1, and by the way, Mary, this would be the maximum. This is the most coverage allowed under this program based on your age and health, would be $20,000. So this would cover you, your family, for $20,000 in the event of a natural passing. Now, however, if you were to pass prematurely, maybe due to an accident, it's going to pay out an additional $20,000. So you would have a total of $40,000 of coverage. And remember, with legacy, there's going to be a lot of money left over because we're locking in those prices. Option number 2 would cover you for $15,000 for natural passing, $30,000 for accidental death. And option number 1 would cover you for $10,000 for natural passing, $20,000 if it were an accidental death. Now, Mary, let me just show you what you would need to set aside on a monthly basis to fund these. What I'm going to do is just use my iPad real quick, and the toggle. I'll show you how quickly I can do this. I'll fill in the numbers. Whoops. It only takes a second. One thing I do is I don't put in the change, I just round it. So Mary, for option number 1, what you would need to set aside on a monthly basis is $224. For option number 1, it would be $170. And then for option 2, I think I messed that up, is $170. And then option 1 is $116. The one thing that you don't want to do is when you give them the pricing is use the word 100 or 200. Just use the word 224. Option 1 is 224, 170, 116. There's some psychology behind that, which I won't get into, but just trust me, it works. Once you've laid this out, you just kind of present it in front of your client, and you simply just say, Mary, you tell me which of these works best for you. And you just kind of lay it there, and you just shut up, and you don't say anything, and you just wait. And sometimes it can be really awkward. Sometimes it could be a minute or two, but you don't say anything. What they're doing sometimes, your clients are pondering and they're thinking to themselves, they're making a decision. Now, I would say close to 50% of your clients are going to come back and they're going to pick an option. Hi, Joe, I think I can do option number 1. Okay, great. Mary, and then when they pick an option, I want to go right into locking in their beneficiary. Now, Mary, just refresh my memory. Who did you say you wanted the money to go to? Who is it that's going to be handling your funeral arrangements? That was your daughter, right? Write her name down. Okay. What is her date of birth? Get into that. Sometimes they may give you a little bit of a pushback, a little bit of a rebuttal. Okay. And a lot of times what will happen is that when a client is thinking that the price is too high, they won't tell you that. Sometimes they might be embarrassed that they can't afford $116. So they'll come back and they'll say something, well, this looks good, Joe. Once you leave all the information, let me think about it. What you need to say is to the client is, Mary, I've been doing this a long time. I'm kind of getting the feeling is that what I'm showing you doesn't fit into your budget. Mary, out of curiosity, what did you expect a program like this to cost? That's a great way to open it up, because you want to get into the conversation about cost, because you want to be a payment closer. You need to close your clients on payment. And I did a whole series about how to close payments. We're not going to get into all that. But once she gives me a number, oh, I thought it would be maybe around, I could find something for $50. Okay, great. Okay, so we're a long way off. What I want to do at that point is I want to do one more 3-option close. Mary, I can appreciate, and I know everyone's got a tight budget. Let me show you what most clients are doing in your same situation that have about a $50 budget. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to log back into my Slice app, and using that custom tool, it gives me all the pricing. So I can find something around $50 a month. Okay. So I can show her here, I'll show you how this works. And these are actual numbers. That's 50 even, 45. Now, when I do the second option like this, usually they are a little bit closer in price. Okay, I'm not showing a huge gap. Maybe usually only $500 to $1,000 difference in face amount. And that's 61. Okay. So here we go. Mary's got a $50 budget. I'm going to show you, Mary, let me show you what most people are doing in your situation with a $50 budget. Now remember, Mary, with Legacy, we're going to be able to save your family thousands of dollars on the cost of a funeral. But Mary, option number 1 is that we could provide you with a $4,000 benefit. You would just need to set aside $50 a month, or you could do $4,500 for 56, or $5,000 for only 61. Mary, you tell me which of these works best for you. And you just do another 3-option close and let them pick out one of those options. She may go for the 61. It's only $11 more to get an extra $1,000 of coverage. It may be worth it. From here, what you want to do is after you close your client, you want to go right back into your Slice app and you want to continue. Make sure you follow up with all the additional health questions. Get all your signatures and make sure that you get that application submitted, and then get it to the and get it to the home office. Okay, so once you got everything completed, we're not done. We just don't want to rush out of the house. We still want to do what we call the exit survey, and we want to do the cool down and the pushback. So once I've completed everything, what I'll do is in that folder, I'll just show you the other things that I want to do. Is one is that I'm going to fill out this form, which is the stop. I'm going to educate my client on why they don't want to have their policy replaced, because another agent's just looking to make a commission. You know, we've got legacy locked in for them. And then where is my survey? Hey, did I leave it in here? Oh, yeah. So do that, and then I also want to do the survey. And basically what I say to the clients that, you know, Mary, before I leave, my company just just to make sure that I'm doing a great job, my company just requires me to do a real quick exit survey. Let me just ask you these questions, and I want you to be honest. I want you to grade the job that I did, and because I want to get better too. So Mary, answer these questions. My senior advisor was courteous and very friendly. She's going to answer, disagree, somewhat agree, strongly agree. I'll go through these real quick. My advisor was knowledgeable and very professional. My senior advisor explained thoroughly my rights and option. How satisfied are you with the explanations of the features and benefits of your life insurance program? I feel the insurance program I'm applying for fits my needs and budget. Last question, most important. Based on your overall experience today, how likely would you be to recommend your senior advisor to friends and family? Would not recommend, maybe recommend, definitely recommend. Almost 100% of your clients are going to say, oh, I would definitely recommend. Well, Mary, who would be the first person you'd like to refer over? Who was the first person that you thought of? What's their name? Where do they live? What's their phone number? Great way to get referrals and to solidify the deal. The other thing that I'm gonna just refresh my client's memory is that I'm gonna go into my policy and just refresh their memory, is that when they do get their policy, this is what it's gonna look like. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go to the benefit page and show them the benefits of my policy. This is what theirs going to look like. And then about a week after you get your policy, you'll get your membership from Legacy. So if you need some help pre-planning, you can call Legacy direct, or you can also call me. I can help you. And then also you're going to get this prescription discount card. So that's part of kind of winding down the sale. And I always like saying to my clients something like this. I said, Mary, I said, I can look at you, I can tell that that looks like there's a weight that's been lifted off your shoulders. Looks like you feel a lot better that you got this taken care of. They're gonna say, yeah, I've been thinking about this. I've had clients break down in tears and tell me that they've been praying for someone, that I was the answer to their prayers, okay, that they didn't know what they were going to do. Okay, so what we do is serious. So we need to take it very seriously. Last thing I'm going to do, my client, is before I leave, Mary, before I got to get to my next appointment, before I take off though, I just want to make sure is that $51 a month, just look at me in the eyes and tell me that fits your budget. Because I don't want to hear from you a month from now, 2 years from now, that you can't afford it. I'd rather do something a little bit cheaper today than to get that phone call a year from now. Make sure that it's solidified, okay? We're done. Give your client a hug, love on them, how happy you are, go off to your next appointment. You've completed it, but you're not done. Make sure that you do the proper follow-up. Make sure that night when you get home or the next morning, you're filling out a handwritten thank you card and mailing them a thank you card. Follow up with them. Let them know that their policy got approved, that it should be getting, when it gets mailed, that, hey, just remind them what their payment date is. Hey, just a reminder, you've got, this is when your premiums are going to be coming out. Do those things. Send out birthday cards. Send out reminders for annual reviews. Get in the habit of doing annual reviews. Sometimes your clients are maybe a little bit hesitant of giving you a referral, but you send them a thank you card, you send them a birthday card, you send them an annual review card. When you go out to do their annual review and you dust off their policy, see if there's anything, help them with the pre-planning, help them with legacy. I promise you, they'll come up with more people. Annual reviews are not only a great way to add value and potentially maybe make another sale with your client, maybe add a little bit to what they have, but annual reviews are also a great opportunity to get additional referrals, free leads. So hope you enjoyed this training. If you need help with your in-home presentation, give me a call. If you are not part of Senior Life and you would be interested in joining our team and you want contracting information, I will leave my phone number in the description below the video. Feel free to give me a call and we can have a conversation. All right, everybody, God bless. Thanks for plugging into my training call today, and we will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.